What's up, guys? I'm back. I've not done a video in a little while, but I'm going to give you guys kind of another little review on the e-bike I bought several months ago, the Cube HP 160 Stereo SL, the 65 battery. I'm not going to speak too much about the details and the specs and everything, because I did a review over lockdown about that. And yeah, that was a really big hit. Had a lot of views, a lot of comments, a lot of talking about it, which was good. So I'm going to try and just go over a few things, a few of the questions that you guys mentioned in the comments, just in a bit more detail. We're going to look at, obviously now we've got the Bosch 85 Newton meter update, which has just been installed on my e-bike here. So I haven't rode it yet with this update on it. So I'm going to take you through kind of a live review of that and how it feels, if it does make a big difference, like the guys say, and you know how that applies to the trail. We're in Bishop today. It's a really nice sunny day, which is, well, good really, considering all we've had is rain. So I'm not going to talk too much now. I'm just going to try and get up to the trails. I'm going to give you a live chat as we go down on how it feels, and what my thoughts are of it, you know, as a long-term bike, value for money, and yeah, really what it's like to own long-term, a bit longer term anyway. So I hope you guys enjoy the vid. Hope you're keeping well. So yeah, let's get to it. So I'll just climb up the fire road to the top now and see if I can notice any difference in regards to torque just on a standard fire road climb. So I'm just in the normal trail mode. Just at low speeds now. Don't really notice a lot of difference, but the hill steepens here, so maybe you just feel a little bit more aid. I'll feel a little bit more aid. Yeah, I'd say, yeah, there is a little bit more there. I'm basing this solely on the fact that it just feels a little bit easier. It's only just noticeable. Mind you, 10 Newton meters of torque. I mean, it's a small percentage on top of the standard 75 Newton meters, so you're not going to notice a huge difference, I'd imagine, but something for free is better than nothing, I guess. I haven't rode this for so long, and I did actually forget how much fun it is just to blast around the woods and climb back up with no effort. It really is like having your own personal uplift, which, if you're a gravity based guy and you like your uplift days, but obviously not a lot of them are running at the moment, then, well, this is a no-brainer really, isn't it, if you've got the spare cash. To talk about a little bit about reliability, I haven't had the bike obviously that long, but the times I have rode it, I have, well, put it through quite some vigorous riding. You know, your Grogley, calf side, sending some of the bigger stuff there, and, well, to be honest, it hasn't missed a single beat. Not a fault code, a problem. No, absolutely nothing. It's been, oh, it's been spot on. Oh, little doggy up here. Hiya. All right. Oh, trail closed there. Standard forestry commission, closing trails that have been there for years, not bothering anyone. But there we are. Someone probably moaned that there was a leaf at a place or something. So, just get up to top of the Bishop's trailhead here and have a little rundown. Go, dude.
Hello, buddy.
It's a little bit wet up here today by the looks of it. Oh, really wet. do notice a little bit more power actually, just powering over these routes here. Oh, looks like we've caught up with some boys here. Sorry boys.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
Cheers.
That's right.
Oh, it is sloppy. Very wet today. Whoa. Haven't actually rode, because I had this over summer, rode this bike in the wet properly yet. Whoa! Oh, it is slippy. Different to the last time I was up here on it. Well, it's busy up here today. There's a few guys out. Well, guys.
It's going right.
Yeah, good mate. You can see how this is running today. It's usually always slippy on this little bit down here, but all right today. Oh, that jump's sloppy. Oh, there is a new little section down here I noticed the other day. Oh, should we blast on down here? Let's. Cheers.
Right on.
Oh, where do I go here? Whilst I'm pedalling back up, I'll just talk over a couple things. I think there's a little climb on the right here that my dad likes to make me do when I'm on my normal bike, which is my Capra, which you guys who know YTs and know Capras, their geometry isn't great for climbing. But on this, it's obviously not a problem. Yeah, I will stop at some point during this video and just talk over, you know, a few things in a bit more detail. Just trying to get the feel of the bike for myself at the moment. Again, as I said before, I haven't rode it much because it's been sunny and summery, so it's been bike park season. Seriously busy up here today, but good to see everyone out. Come on, you're right, boys. Does suck when an e-bike flies past, but then you can't beat them, join them. That's why I have one. So yeah, where was I? Just talking about a bit of the stigma that comes with these. Most of the comments from people are really good, positive. A lot of people, you know, are really for them. You get the odd one or two who say they're lazy, so it's not real cycling, they're too heavy, it's pointless. What's the point in going out on a push bike if you can just have an engine to help you? May as well get a motocross bike. I've heard loads of things like this. All I can say is, well, it's all bollocks, because I recently lent this bike to my 56-year-old dad, who consistently went out midweek after working a 9-to-5 job and did 30+ miles every week. Now, I don't know many guys at 56 that are in a full-time job that have got the energy to do that after work, but one of these is the answer to that problem. And even for people like myself, I'm 20 out, relatively young and fit, but sometimes, you know, on a roof all day in the rain, trying to cut a roof in, and it's hammering it down with rain, you're getting beaten by the wind, the last thing you kind of want to do is go out and do a 20 miler on your normal bike. So one of these is just a gateway to being able to ride more, really, and I can't see anything wrong with that. So I'm going to hit the left hand line, something a little bit more tacky, and yeah, there's some tighter turns in there which I'll hopefully notice on the acceleration portion coming out, whether it's helped with this motor update. God, it's so slippy. Back ends everywhere there. Whoa! The rain has eroded some of the stuff away, so some of the roots a bit more on show. There's a new line that everyone's been doing here, where they've been going straight on. Let's see how this is running. Whoa, it's so slippy. Probably looks like I'm crawling down here, but there's no traction. As you can probably hear. Alright, so head back to the van for a quick drink, and we'll cycle over to Grogley for something a little bit more entertaining. Right, let's hit the flash line, which is an old-time favourite. How's it running today? Pretty good, actually. Do love that jump. Whoa, as expected. Wet. Very wet. Whoa, God, I haven't rode stuff like this in a while. Ooh, little drop here. It's new. So, down here, over the kicker. Leaves are starting to fall now. Oh, really overgrown here. Can't see much. Oh, very overgrown. Little jump. And there we are. Wow. I think the first initial thought after not riding this bike for a while is one, it can definitely sand down some rough stuff, and two, it is a little bit harder work than sort of a carbon enduro bike or even an alloy. It's heavy. You got to brake earlier, turn earlier, and plan your lines a little bit better. But still, I mean, great fun. Let's go, have a good one, boys. God, it's rough. Oh, chains come off. Damn it. So, this is a good point to stop and talk about this, because this tends to happen on this bike when you go over really rough stuff and you've got the bike down in, you know, the last couple of gears. It tends to jump off. So there is an option for a chain guide available from E13, who are a German manufacturer which produce components for YT and a few other companies. So there is a chain guide you can get on there. Unfortunately, they're out of stock until October. So I have put in a request with Clive Mitchell Cycles, where I bought the bike, and they're going to try and get me one in as soon as possible, because that is annoying. So that is a point I will make about this bike. If you're riding downhill stuff like this, it can drop chains, which is extremely frustrating when you're on the gas and yeah, it runs you run. So we'll carry on down after that little note. Hope we don't lose any more chains. Whoa. The rain has really done some damage to all this stuff. This is rotted out way worse than normal. Way. Bramble just nearly took my head off. So yeah, that's as a bike, I mean, apart from a few niggly details, it's hard to fault for the money. As I have said previously, it's just so much fun. It's got that kind of geometry of a gravity based enduro bike, but you have all the good stuff with the Bosch Gen 4 motor to bring you back up. So it is kind of what it says on the tin, this bike. I still don't feel that there's anything out there that you can pick up today for this price that is as good for, you know, kind of gravity based enduro riding with your e-bike motor. I know there's loads of options out there and people will probably argue their points, but for this money I don't feel, by looking around the market, there's anything as good. Let's just talk over this bike really quick. Again, I have done a original review, so this is just more of a follow-up, so I'm just going to quickly bash through some things. The Magura brakes, e-bike specific brakes, Magura E's, they have really come into their own lately. They're better now, they're bedded in. When I first had them I did have a few complaints about them, but now I'm actually warming to them. Now the bike's been ridden a bit more and they're properly worn in, the pads are bedded in. I actually really like them, and I think for the money, for what you're paying for this bike, to have brakes with that kind of stopping power is really, really good. The RockShox Lyric fork, again, it's a well-proven fork. Most of you guys will know that it's a decent fork. It's pretty tunable. I'm actually running them a little bit higher pressure than they recommend for my weight and for the bike, just because I find I was bottoming them out a lot. I know a couple of guys have said about putting an air token in there, which is probably a good idea, but for now I've just popped a little more air in there and the bike feels great. You know, it feels poppy, it feels plush when I want it to, and yeah, so really pleased with it. Tyres, I'll be straight up, not a fan. Don't know whether that's just because they're a little bit more of a trail-based tyre compared to the DHF and DHR I run on my Capra, but they're not massively confidence inspiring. They just don't seem to bite in as well as a Maxxis. But again, I know it is a different type of tyre compared to the DHF. I suppose a Magic Mary and a hand stamp would go better if I had the Mary on the front, the hands on the rear, but sorry to all you Schwalbe guys, but they're not for me, so I probably will look to change them for something from Maxxis. The motor's fantastic. This 85 Nm update, it is noticeable. In all honesty, not as noticeable as I thought, but it is a little bit easier on the climbs, just with a bit of kind of taking off speed, just from when you're stood still to pedaling away. You do have a little bit more bottom end torque. And yeah, the dropper post is great. The Bosch control unit, I mean, it couldn't really be better, to be honest. It is so simple to use with your different modes. I barely use turbo, don't really need it unless I'm towing my friends up the hill. I may pop it on, but I never use it. I don't use EMTB that much. I just use Tour and Eco if I'm on the flat. That preserves the battery, and then I usually do a big long ride and I've got half the battery left. So this 65 watt-hour battery in the Cube is more than big enough. I don't see why you'd need more unless you're doing real big slogs, maybe 50-60 miles plus. But as I said previously, I lent this bike to my dad and he was doing 30 mile on it around the woods, and it was having plenty of life left. So overall, this will be probably the last review I do about this bike. I'm really glad I bought it. There are no regrets. It's a great bike for the money. I still now don't feel that it's a replacement for a normal bike. I feel that a normal bike has its benefits, especially at a bike park. They're lighter, they're easier to throw around. You feel a little more comfortable, myself personally, smashing them off big drops and big gaps and things. And I know that there are guys that do it on this. Obviously Sam Pilgrim being one of them has proven that you can do anything on an e-bike. But for the average guy like myself, who's just a normal working class guy who rides when he's got a bit of free time and not working, yeah, I keep the normal bike for that. But I think it's a fantastic bike. My friend who I ride with a lot, Rob, is pretty much sold on them, so I think he's going to be making a purchase of an e-bike soon, either this one or something else. But if you want to get out there when you haven't got a lot of time, you want to get a few laps in of the woods, and you've had a hard week at work on site like myself, or whatever it is you do, then I really feel that this is the answer. Till the next one, guys, peace out, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Appreciate all the support. Cheers, guys.